Alright, welcome back. I'm tired, got out of the gym. This is important and something clicked that I just needed to talk about for a few minutes. In fact, I would like to say it is partly why the whole thing about going between the church and society is why it's important to me. I mean, you got young guys out there struggling, young women too, with what I'm going to pull up here. But it didn't click, and I was just like, why is it clicking now? But then again, I did see the video yesterday, so I just needed some time to process it. Anyway, so the video is a graph, a chart, backed up by factual data. I don't know if the data is linked below the website. You should check it out because it's interesting. There's some good stuff there. So, over a period of, I want to say, 10, 20 years, this guy is breaking down how things are going and degrading over time. Everything from what is taboo in the bedroom, or taboo as far as considered like 20 years ago, and sexual, like active partners for women versus for men. And as far as that goes, there was additional information about that was very surprising, backed up by data. It seems, according to the information there, if I get this correct, when women pick up these bad habits of like sleeping around or whatever, it's going to stay with them, and they're less likely to change the longer they go into this. These degenerative lifestyles, my phone should still be linked up here. Let me pull this up here because it ties in with the Bible verse about salt. You know, Christians are supposed to be salt of the earth and all that. And these degenerative effects, they just get worse and worse and worse over time. You have to actually manually correct that. Either you're yourself, or you're getting help to correct that. Like being salt of the earth matters for Christians. Now, for those who are not Christians, Muslims, Mormons, whoever, the point is, if you believe that there is evilness and wickedness, which the Bible associates with and as sin, then you're going to need something to stop that, to fight against that, to change it from the inside out. You do not change things from the outside in. Now, obviously, trauma and tragedy will do that to you and for you. Okay, salt. Let's see here. Where's that Bible verse at? Matthew 5:13. You are salt of the earth, but if the salt has lost its taste / purpose, how can it be made salty? It is no longer good for anything, but to be thrown out and walked on by people, and parentheses, when the walkways are wet and slippery. Leviticus 2:13. Nope, that does not work. That's Old Testament anyway. New Testament is where I am looking at. Now, obviously, 2 Kings 2:21, you got some verses saying, you know, along the lines of, Elisha went to the spring of water and threw the salt in it and said, thus says the Lord, I, not the salt, have purified and healed these waters. There shall no longer be death or barrenness because of it. So you have some stories as far as salt being used productively. All right. But anyway, it was that one verse as far as, you know, Christians are the salt of the earth. We need to do our best to be a part of things, to, you know, part of the change for the better. We need to be proactive. And obviously tying this to the gym here, the gym that I just got out of, you're not going to get stronger. You're not going to get more developed. You're not going to lose weight without doing anything. Like, you have to put in effort. You have to be actively working on this. Obviously, me trying to own this diet as well is not fun. The gym, working on this diet here. Ooh, it's going to be a very interesting 3 months. That's all I'm going to say. If I can get past the first 2 weeks, I'll be fine. The first week, let's just say things were not on schedule, and I still had a lot of food left over. So, you know, food goes to waste if you don't use it. So, trying to ration things out a little bit without having too many calories in the first week. Calorie counting, fun. Anyway, I wanted to go talk about that because this video, and I'll link down below, these choices lead to a degenerative lifestyle, and this degenerative lifestyle needs to be worked on, or else these people will be getting worse. Both men and women. Two different reasons, two different ways how things are going to get worse. And the problem is when when people get broken in certain ways, like the pair bonding with the sexual side, being unable to, means you're not going to be able to find someone, and if you do, you're not going to be able to attach to them and settle down and actually have a family and all that. And on top of that, oh man, how are you going to ever, you as a guy, how are you ever going to settle for someone who's been with like 30 guys, who already has like 2 kids? How are you supposed to have a family with that? Unless you're called and you're like a prophet from the Old Testament, where you're called to marry an escort or prostitute or whatever those women were called in the Old Testament. As far as women, how are you called to fix men who are choosing to live unhealthy lifestyles, who are choosing to be the bad boy, as in they're going to be assholes, they're going to be sleeping around, they're going to be having these qualities designed to lure you in so they can get what they want? I mean, there's plenty of stories out there as far as women who've been suckered. This goes both ways. This isn't like picking a side. There's evil out there, degenerative, which leads to degenerative lifestyles. You want to get better, you want to get healthier, you need to work on this. You need to be productive. Maybe my calling, maybe my purpose is to be between the culture and the church. I don't mind raising my voice and saying, this is what I'm seeing, this is a problem, deal with it, fix it, or you are going to be in trouble. To both sides. This is not even about Jesus, this is about God and you on a personal level. But then again, if you don't believe in God, it would just be like, the conversation changes a little bit. Because no matter what you believe in, there's evil shit in this world that will happen, that you need to do something about it. If you're just going to simply check out of life, check out of society, well, that's on you. You're not actually adding to the problem, but you're sure as anything. You may think it's not making it worse, but you are actually making it somewhat worse. I'm not even sure how to explain that, but taking yourself out of the equation is not really the answer. You may need time to heal, yes, but anyway, had to share this. All right, until next time.